It's synonymous with everything good and the right of every citizen. It's never easy. Success takes hard work, perseverance, stamina, and holding fast to core beliefs. But an out-of-control government has put the dream in jeopardy. 8 out of 10 Americans think it's harder to achieve the dream now than before, and will be even worse for the next generation. Fortunately, a powerful voice has arisen to put we the people back in charge, to revitalize the dream. The modern-day Tea Party movement is stronger than ever. Grassroots are growing deeper. Millions of patriots are organizing locally. New, conservative, principled leaders are emerging. The hope for a better tomorrow is strong because everybody deserves the opportunity to pursue the American dream. Tea Party Patriots, pursue your American dream.
Your nation. Your news.
Coming up on One America News.
National and international news. Credible and unbiased, 24/7.
Stay tuned as we bring you the latest headlines from across the nation and around the world.
6,000 people, please.
We will not block their conservative message. We will be their platform.
Political talk shows. Substantive, bold, and comprehensive.
The left says they're all about other people's ideas until they realize other ideas exist.
There are too many taxes, too many regulations, too much government intervention in people's lives for this economy to grow.
A new voice, your voice, for One America. Contact your cable provider and demand they carry One America News Network today.
Hello, CPAC. I'm Jim Martin, chairman of the 60 Plus Association. And as many of my friends know, I started my career here in the nation's capital as a newspaper reporter. And I've seen how journalism done right can make the country better, especially in times of great crisis like we face today. When reporters and editors are fair, without a political agenda, they serve our country well by holding the powerful to account. I saw this as a young reporter covering President John Kennedy's assassination, and throughout the Cold War, when great media institutions alerted the world to the creeping dangers of communism. But today the profession has been hijacked by elitists who wish to impose their points of view. I want to help change that. So that's why 60 Plus has endowed a summer internship at the Washington Times so a young reporter can learn from experts at a newspaper that's done it great and right for more than 3 decades. To my friends at this great paper, the Washington Times, and to this year's winner, go get them, and you can help make America great again.
I'm Dan Bongino. I don't wear a bow tie. I don't eat caviar for lunch. I eat turkey sandwiches.
I wear boots and jeans that I don't apologize for.
I grew up above a bar at 64th Place in Myrtle Avenue. A rough upbringing, but gave me an edge.
I'm that middle-class American that Barack Obama was supposedly running for until you saw your paycheck go down last week.
I was a Secret Service agent. I started under President Clinton, worked with President Bush, and I left under President Obama. But I didn't plan to speak. They put a microphone in my face, and luckily I was fired up. I remember waking up in the middle of the night. It said like 150,000. Then I woke up and it said 300,000. I think it's got over 1 million views now. Saw something in government that concerned me gravely. You've been sold out. You've been sold out to big business. You've been sold out to big government. You've been sold out to interests. And I got news for you. They are not yours. And you can either get up and do something about it and become part of the solution, or you can remain not part of the problem. You can remain the problem. Your choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dan Bongino, Top 10 Under 40 honoree.
Every word, every time when it rolls around.
Thank you. You're going to get me all choked up before I even start. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you to CPAC for naming me one of their top 10 under 40. I was pretty floored. I think the bouncer kicked me out of this place about 4 years ago. So now speaking and addressing all of you, quite a turn of events. You know, folks, people ask me all the time why I left the Secret Service. Well, my oath to protect the president was a solemn one, and I took it very seriously. But my first oath and my primary oath was to protect our form of government and the liberty and prosperity that's been handed down to you folks. This place is different. This place is unique. And that was job number one for me. So I walked away. But more importantly, I want to tell you how I found conservatism. I want to tell you just a quick story. So I was a police officer before I became a Secret Service agent. I was on the street one night. And it was late at night. I used to do a 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. tour in one of the busiest precincts in New York. And I ran into this young kid who I'd seen quite a bit. He couldn't have been more than 10 years old. And I ran into him at about maybe midnight or so. It's strange at the time. I didn't think it was unusual. That's how the neighborhood had really degraded badly. And I got to talking to this young kid, and I said to him, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? Pretty simple question, right? I think we all have the answer to that. Folks, he had no answer. The idea of a tomorrow to him was not the tomorrow to you. Tomorrow to him was just a chronological date. He had no idea. So I probed a little more and said, you know, what do you want to do? Doctor, engineer, lawyer, police officer? And he said, no, I want to be AZ. And I thought, AZ? I thought he said Jay-Z. At the time, I was a Brooklyn cop, and he was a young up-and-coming rapper, and I thought to myself, all right. But he said, no, I didn't say Jay-Z. I said AZ. And then it all clicked. AZ was a local drug dealer. Yeah. Folks, this young kid lived in a totally different America than you do. John Edwards gave a speech once about two Americas, but what John Edwards failed to tell you, and what I think everybody in this room knows, is that he created it. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring this up because we are losing as a party. We are losing the battle for hearts and minds. We have to win the hearts and minds before the wallets and the businesses. We are losing. We are losing to a party that is creating nothing but chaos. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very different to make the argument that liberalism is not helping. It's not that it's not helping, folks. It is actually decimating. It's decimating lives, families, generations of families, and cultural institutions, and you owe it to that kid to fight back. We are not doing it. We are arguing the Laffer curve while they are arguing on emotion, and they are kicking our butts. Folks, we are the party of compassion. We always have been. We are the party of real answers. They are the party of nothing but good intentions gone awry. You know, let me just give you a quick story here. If you were to walk out of here today and you were to trip and I don't help you up, I didn't help you. There's a level of depravity in that. But there's an additional level of depravity if as you try to get up, I actually take your legs out and kick you. Liberalism is destroying these kids. Thank you. Folks, the irony of their progressive tax code is it's the most regressive tax code at all. They don't have the lawyers to defeat these tax laws, while the wealthiest among us do. We're the one with the fair tax code. The irony of Obamacare is that everybody can't stand the DMV and the post office. Do you want to call the DMV or the post office to crack your chest open? Folks, no one in this room is going to do that. The folks in this room, we are going to go to boutique medicine that is already establishing itself while the poorest among us under Obamacare are in government clinics. Where is the equity or fairness in that? We're the party of ideas and results. Don't ever forget that. The heart and the mind. Folks, Obamacare is going to devastate communities. It is going to shred them, and people will die. Make no mistake. Don't parse words with it. I'll leave you with this one issue, this last one. That is ours, and we own it. How are we not out there every day talking about school choice? Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I grew up, as I said in that video, eating bologna and turkey sandwiches for dinner and rotten Cheerios. Matter of fact, they weren't even Cheerios. They were O's. Remember O's? If you couldn't afford the, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They were just as good. Keep telling yourself that. All right? I'm only up here today speaking to you in coherent sentences in English because a school, a local Catholic school, took us on as a charity case. We paid sometimes, but rarely. Folks, there are 20,000 public high schools in this country. Did you know only 2,000 are responsible for half the dropouts? And if your skin happens to be black, you have a 50% chance of sending your kid to one of those schools. Chew on that one for lunch. That's our fight. These kids were sold out a long time ago by liberalism to union interests that couldn't give a damn about those kids, folks. That is our fight. That is ours. Don't ever forget that. That's our fight. Folks, don't ever give up. A woman came up to me at a speech recently and said, you know, Dan, I'm done. We lost in Maryland. I'm from Maryland. We're being beaten down. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no done. Get it out of your heads right now. There's no done. This is not a video game, okay? You can be done in a video game. You want to be done, put the controller down and go have your turkey sandwich. This is boxing. When you're done, the other guy's still kicking your ass. He does not stop. Liberals will never, ever stop. Ever. Their goal is always power. It has never been to help the little guy. We are the party of the little guy. Folks, never, ever, ever forget. Men and women have sacrificed everything. Their kids, their lives, their limbs, everything to make sure that your todays are prosperous. You owe it to those men and women to make sure that that kid who told me about AZ, that his tomorrows are prosperous too. That's your mission, folks. This is your government. Today's the day we stop stealing from our kids. Today's the day we start fighting for their health care. Today's the day we take our government back. Thank you so much. Fight the good fight. Thank you, folks.